Hello everyone and welcome to the AK region of EGFH Season 3 for Overwatch. Today we have a best of 4 match between the Reddington Huskies and the SuValley Slayers. I of course want to thank our sponsors Mob Crush and Playmakers Wanted for helping make this season possible. My name is Kevin Navik Dignan and today I'm joined by Cool J. How are you doing today, Cool J?
I am doing great. This week we are starting with Escort, then heading over to Control, going to Assault, and finishing it off hopefully on Hybrid. I said hopefully again. If the scoreline is tied after these maps, we will have a thrilling tiebreaker once again on Escort. This week we'll be starting in the beautiful coastal town of Watchpoint Gibraltar, heading over to the Arabian paradise of Oasis. We're going to take a quick shuttle ride up to the moon on Horizon Lunar Colony, head to Blizzard's best on Blizzard World, and a tiebreaker, if necessary, down south in Dorado. Since Baptiste is now live in competitive play, he is allowed to play this week. And honestly, I'm really excited to see, A, if he is played, and B, how teams will use him.
Oh, you missed it earlier today, Cool J. This game has some big boots to fill considering the send-off the East region got. We got to a tiebreaker match. It was almost a reverse sweep. And yeah, it was exciting.
Honestly, another thing I'm really wondering is, like, with Baptiste going live mid-season, like, how does that really affect here? Like, maybe teams can make a big push with Baptiste coming.
Or we definitely saw some of that. I think a lot of the thing came down to a lot of teams realizing that he's much better on control at hybrid than pure payload maps.
Well, I guess the SuValley Slayers didn't get the memo because they're rolling out a spawn here with a Baptiste. They've got a 3 DPS comp with solo Reinhardt, Dragon Slayer right there. And wow, Steph on the Bastion going down early to Mr. Popo, and that's a great start. Oh, there goes Sunflower as well. The SuValley Slayers look like they know exactly what they're doing here. They're just decimating this Huskies defense.
Yeah, no, we didn't see the Huskies turning around at all there, and it just let Mr. Popo rain down missiles. We see Sonat here trying to take down the Iron Bird, but at the moment not finding too much success in the attempt.
Yeah, he's actually going to try and back off here. We'll see if he'll be able to disengage. Sunflower now with him looking to take some aggressive positioning for the Huskies. Here comes that Immortality Field and a charge from Dragon Slayer. Steph X is really not getting to play this game on this Bastion pick. And that's going to be a first cap, and Sunflower was just standing there. Was he trying to stagger himself, or did he DC?
I'm unsure, but we see the charge here coming out. Unfortunately for Sinbin, not being able to find any of the pins as he finds himself in the clutches of the SuValley Slayers here. He does fall to Dr. Bones as well. Walmart here trying to be sneaky, trying to get a res, but he has been spotted by Skelly Key there on that Baptiste, making sure, you know, to show that he is just as much of a DPS character as he is a healer.
Well, look at this. Steph finally managing to set up and even get a kill on this Bastion, but seems like it might be short-lived. I think we're gonna see him going down pretty shortly here. And this payload is really just rolling along 5 minutes through the shuttle phase, and I don't even think it's slowed down until just now.
Yeah, no, being able to just push forward like this and not really having any point of contest is really, really good for the Slayers, and they're definitely not going to be complaining about it, as the Huskies need to start bearing their fangs a little bit in contesting this point.
Yeah, and here we go. We are actually seeing the supercharger coming out from the Huskies. As you mentioned, the resistance, though, still not quite there. Mr. Popo finds 3 with the barrage, as well as taking down the supercharger. Might have gotten a little bit of help from the Baptiste ult there, but it seems like they really didn't get a lot of value out of it.
Yeah, so I was running the numbers earlier in the last game from the East out of curiosity, and if a Pharah is being damage boosted by a Mercy and goes through a Baptiste shield with a rocket and it's a direct hit, it's about 480 damage.
I mean, and that's absolutely just ridiculous. They're actually going to solo shatter Steph on the Bastion tank mode. They don't actually take him out right away. He is going to go down eventually here. Infrasight coming out from Artemis, and I mean, I know Arissa said show some resistance, but we're not really seeing it.
I believe she says cease the resistance. She's trying to stop the fights, not start them.
I didn't ask.
Her protocol is very different here. Okay, I feel like you're trying to paint her in a very wrong light.
Well, we see Nyler Kyle on the hamster ball going in the background. backline taking down Artemis on the Widowmaker, but it doesn't seem to have slowed down their momentum at all. As this payload is almost at the end, here comes the aimbot, but Sonat is right there with the trans. Nobody's going down to that hacks, but Walmart getting caught just a bit too far out. Steph is able to take down Mr. Popa, but Dragon Slayer swinging that hammer, proving he really is a Slayer, finding kill after kill here. There goes Steph as well, and that should be it. An incredibly fast push there on Watchpoint Gibraltar.
So I'm a little bit concerned for the Huskies in this situation, right? Every time Batiste threw out that immortality field, we just saw them going for the players in the field instead of the actual ball.
Yeah, something that I'm sure a lot of you are seeing in your competitive matches now that he is live is that no one shoots at the lamp. You know, when he puts down that immortality field, you can actually shoot it down. It does have a good bit of health. I think about 300-ish.
Yep, Sombra can hack it and instantly disable it as well. EMP cancels out the bot and an and the ultimate. If he throws out the ultimate, it instantly negates it. So Sombra's an absolutely fantastic counter against him right now.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, a lot of people, since he's so new, just don't really know how to counter him yet. On that same thread, not a lot of people know the most efficient way to play him. So I think we'll be seeing in the coming weeks a lot of people starting to figure out this hero a little bit more and start to figure out how to really get the best value out of it. But on the other hand, like I mentioned, people are going to start figuring out how to counter it a little better as well. So we'll have to see. I mean, I know I'm certainly very excited to see how he ends up tuning out here.
Yeah, I think he's gonna make or break goats even more so. If he breaks goats, then I'm gonna be happy.
Well, yeah, I actually am one of the few who really does enjoy goats, but what I really enjoy even more than goats is some parody, and I don't like watching goats v goats constantly. So I do hope that he is able to bring some variety into the meta. Speaking of variety, Steph is on a Torbjorn here. It looks like they're hoping to set him up on the payload, but the Slayers seem to have been expecting this play as they're taking a very aggressive forward positioning here.
Yeah, this is aggressive, but they were probably presuming that Stefex was going to stay on that bastion. But Mr. Popo charging into the turret, can't actually hit it due to it being in spawn here, and is just going to be able to take some damage here. The Torbjorn Tower doing a bit of work, of course, with that aimbot. It's not going to miss any shots whilst they're in the line of sight. It might go into Popo's shield. But even then, with the constant stream of damage coming out onto the Slayers, they're managing to do an absolutely fantastic job on keeping themselves alive.
And something that the average viewer might have missed there, after Mr. Popo charged into the enemy team, what happened was he and Sinbin actually did a traditional Reinhardt dance where they showed their backs to each other, both of them holding up shield. Mr. Popo was able to win this traditional dance, which is really almost a duel, but always interesting when you see that come up. Meanwhile, Nyler Cal in the backline trying to get some damage. He's going to get taken out by Dr. Bones there. And really, the Huskies are just struggling to get any momentum right now.
Yeah, I mean, trying to find momentum here is probably the name of the game, right? You want to get this ball rolling. And at the moment, they're being spawn camped.
Yeah, the Slayers just showing up a suffocating front here. Sunflower going to get taken down there, but Altpocalypse coming out. Steph finds two with a Molten Core. Nyler Kyle finding two more on that Pharah. He's actually going to die to the Junkrat Death Nades. Artemis in the backline looking for some heads to snip, but he can't quite find the shots he's looking.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a nice... I think that's probably the best Torbjorn Molten Core I've seen. Managing to find two picks, covered a good area, trapped most of them if they were going to try and retreat to stay in the damage, and just force them to take it.
Yeah, I mean, generally with Torbjorn's ult, it seems to be more of a zoning type thing. The damage isn't all that good, and it's hard to get it out anyway. Meanwhile, as I say, this entity finding a few kills with the tire. Sinbin suddenly finding himself all by himself, and they're actually going to invest the Batiste ult just onto this one Reinhardt here. Once again, I'm not really sure that's the best value they could get out of it, but a lot of people aren't really sure when to use this ultimate.
Honestly, just put it in front of your Widowmaker, make Widow do double the headshots, so quadruple damage on headshots, and just let her have a field day.
You know, a lot of people are really talking about the insane damage potential that comes out, but one thing that I really want to talk about is the insane healing potential that comes out.
Also very true.
Overlook that it doubles your healing as well as doubling the damage. Imagine using that into a into a graviton where your whole team is stuck, I mean, you could just basically keep them alive off of like Ana shots.
I think the positioning on that's very difficult though, because you need to get it in a graviton where the Batiste is able to get it in front of the Ana, between the Ana and the team.
But all kinds of interesting theory crafting here. That's, of course, what you watch Overwatch for. Entity taking down Walmart there. And we actually see the Huskies finally starting to get some momentum here. But we'll see how long it will last. Artemis for the Slayers getting up those wall hacks. Looking for a kill on Nyler Kyle on this Pharah. Skelly, meanwhile, finds Sunflower. So that goes down. Nyler Kyle goes down. 4 kills in quick succession there. The kill feed filling up for the Slayers. Steph is able to frag back on Artemis, and here comes his Molten Core once again, but this time not going to be quite as deadly.
Yeah, no, that was really well played out there. We actually saw Dragon Slayer and Sinbin do that Reinhardt dance you were talking about just a couple fights ago, and once again, Dragon Slayer managing to take the victory out of it.
I love the traditional Reinhardt dances, and we see a huge shatter coming from Dragon Slayer, winning the duel yet again. Sunflower going to get popped out of the mech. Sinbin and Kyle both going down. But yeah, it's rare that we get to see the particular dance that I was referring to. So I just had to point it.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it twice now in one game. The Reds coming out onto Sunflower there. Going to be bringing up that Gremlin Diva, who immediately falls to Skelly Key's aim.
Yeah, honestly, it's just... I think we're starting to see another suffocating hold here. We'll see if the Huskies will be able to find a way through it this time. We're going to see Sinbin and Dragon Slayer stunning each other down, but Sinbin in the middle of this Slayer's defense, and the Slayers are going to slay him, and that is going to be it for yet another push.
We need to be talking about Nyler Kyle, though. In their backline, they're raining rockets down from the sky here. Mr. Popo also falling. This might be the chance that the Huskies were looking for here, but Nyler actually taking the decision to retreat and not play it more aggressively to force a split. The Justice coming down here, unfortunately, going just to be able to find Skelly Key, as well as the Transcendence being popped. A lot of damage coming out, a lot of ults being popped here. We see 3 ultimates in total as they try and clear out this point and just gain that momentum that they need to snowball out of this choke.
Yeah, and Dragon Slayer there going so low. We actually see Nyler Kyle canceling the Riptire and taking down Entity. Mr. Popo with a barrage of his own, but nothing doing there. And we see Artemis taking down Kyle. But as we mentioned, or as I wanted to mention, with Moira and Baptiste, there is so much healing for this tank line. He'll see the Huskies almost get tunnel visioned onto Dragon Slayer, and he just never goes down. It's so much healing.
Yeah, I mean, it is just an incredible amount of healing. I definitely think, especially with the last couple characters we've seen that have been supporty roles, they have always been able to push out a bunch of DPS as well. And I don't think Baptiste is any different. His burst fire rifle is so good.
I really wasn't sure how I would feel about this triple DPS composition with the Reinhardt. Typically on this map on Gibraltar, you want to play a Winston, and also in general with 3 DPS, you want to play a more mobile tank. But it's obviously working for them as Dragon Slayer continuing to slay, finding 2 more kills there. Mr. Popo once again getting taken down, but it seems like the only frag that the Huskies have been able to find, as the Slayers are going to go ahead and take that first map.
And yeah, I mean, that was a fairly decisive victory. The Slayers right now are, pardon the pun, slaying their competition. And I'm looking forward to seeing if the Huskies can bring it back on map 2, which will be Oasis.
Yeah, I have the, I'm not afraid to make the bad puns. I think that's the difference between you and me, Kat.
I don't know, there was some bad puns earlier today.
Oh, but yes, a dominating performance, really. However, we did see the Huskies gaining a little bit of later momentum. Do you think they'll be able to carry any of that with them into this next match?
We'll have to see. Control is a completely different ballgame with Baptiste being in the meta now. And if they don't start shooting that drone, they're going to be having some serious issues coming up.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. As we're heading over, of course, to Oasis, maybe we'll see the Huskies try to pull out a Baptiste of their own.
It definitely is a possibility. I would not put it too far out of the realm of possibility, especially having them just seen exactly how powerful he is.
It's definitely going to be questionable. I do feel like that was so strong from the Slayers. I think they're going to want to stick to these 3 DPS compositions, but I'm wondering if they're going to be sticking with the Reinhardt solo.
Yeah, there's definitely that is definitely an option coming through into this situation. It would be interesting to see. I do want to see a double Baptiste and see how they try and play around each other. If they try throwing the immortality fields on each other, it would be very, very humorous.
Okay, but can we talk about how long the names are of Batiste's ability? I mean, he's got the invulnerability field, the amplification matrix. I mean, what is this? I feel like they were pulling out a thesaurus when they were working on Batiste.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, it was.
I mean,
it was.
Like Sombra just has EMP, like, you know, nice and simple. How do you say, like, everybody calls the invulnerability field the lamp? I mean, I don't know. What do you call the matrix? Do we call it the crystal?
We can't
wall?
call it matrix
unless we start calling it the crystal wall.
Oh, the crystal wall. What a I feel like a fence matrix might be, and then it contrasts to defense matrix, you know? But I feel like saying the offense matrix coming out from Baptiste. Come on. It's better than the weird squiggly field that doubles everybody's damage.
So what we see is a very similar composition now from the Slayers. In fact, I think it's almost exactly the same as what they played on Gibraltar. Nyler Kyle actually going to get hit by a car there. The composition from the side of the Huskies is very different. They've even swapped some of their roles around a little bit. Nyler Kyle now on the Reinhardt, and Sonat playing DPS on that Sombra. But this time, it's still not going to work out for them. The Slayers are going to get the first cap.
Yeah, managing to get that first cap now is going to give them a good sense of momentum. And unfortunately for the Huskies, it doesn't look like they're able to carry through that momentum like you were hoping for.
All right, so we'll see. Skelly almost has his offense matrix up and ready to go. I love offense matrix. This is such a good name. Sonat, though, trying to build up this...
Yeah, Dr. Bones here does find Walmart Elizabeth Entity finding Sonat managing to get Dragon Slayer, which is bringing that Reinhardt down. It's going to be very, very important and a key thing to this Huskies push at the moment. We do see Stefix taking down the lamp as well, so maybe they just weren't paying attention. Maybe they've realized now, but that's a great sign seeing them coming into the rest of these plays right now. Hopefully, we should be seeing a lot more focus on the lamp coming very, very soon.
Yeah, I was actually seeing Steph go in for a stealth Torb play. He was actually able to get into the backline, but couldn't find the damage he needed to finish off kills. As you see Skelly finishing off Walmart there. 60% already built up for the side of the Slayers, and actually we see Walmart going on to the point here. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely worked out very, very well here for them. Managing to order for the Slayers here, a hammer down coming out as they try and push forward. We do see the attempt here coming out from Dragon Slayer to try and survive through it, but we will be unable to see. We'll be unable to see him succeed through that as the point ticks up closer and closer, 10% away. Are they going to be able to succeed?
You know, I'm really not sure here. Artemis, like a spider in the hunt, is just hiding on this high ground, really doing whatever he wants. And as I say that, he drops down, the EMP comes out, he actually catches 3 members, but I'm not sure if his team is going to be able to follow up on it. Neither Kyle actually finding Mr. Popo, but not going to last much longer. So many ultimates up as well. I expect Skelly probably going to use his offense matrix here very shortly, because you can't really take it with you to the next round.
Yeah, and wanting to make use of those ultimates along with that barrage and the visor here, they should just be popping it to make sure, but it doesn't even seem like they need to.
Yeah, we also see a few ultimates left over on the side of the Huskies, and you just have to wonder, like, where is the execution for these guys? It seems like they can't even get these ult engagements that they want.
Ready for battle.
Last minute check. Everyone squared away?
Well, as we're coming forward here, we're gonna see Nyler Kyle onto okay, and he's just, I guess, giving me dreams. I wanted to see the Doomfist, but he's going for that Batiste as well. Um, However, a very different composition than what the Slayers are running. The Huskies going for a triple support type thing with Steph solo DPSing on this Torbjorn. However, Sonat on the Zen, we've seen how much damage Zenyatta can put out. Do you think this composition is going to work out for them?
I definitely think that it's a very heavy possibility of it working out for them. Again, seeing Sonat on that Zenyatta, the Discord orb, can you Discord? You can't Discord other objects, so you can't Discord the lamp, can you?
No, you can't. The lamp is the lamp. It's HP. You can't give it armor. You can't give it Discord, anything.
So I don't know how I feel about Zenyatta going into Bastille against Bastille. I feel like you can probably run a more appropriate support to deal with the lamp as quickly as you can.
I think they were really hoping for it to kind of deal with the barrage and the visor coming out from Dr. Bones and Mr. Popo, but honestly, it seemed like the Slayers didn't even need their ultimates here. And as I say that, Mr. Popo actually going to get taken down. A 6v5 opportunity here. If the Huskies are going to be able to take advantage, remains to be seen as they're coming in for the engagement here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the engagement coming out here. We do see the immortality field coming out, or sorry, the lamp. I need to get used to saying that. It saves a lot of syllables. As we see the Bastille offensive matrix coming out along with the with the visor here. The double damage coming through visor is absolutely terrifying. Did you see how quickly Sunflower melted there?
Yeah, honestly, it was like seconds. I mean, it was like watching Zarya on like 200 charge. Imagine if the offense matrix amplified Zarya's beam. Because it amplifies her right click, but it doesn't amplify her left click.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because her left click isn't a projectile.
But imagine if it was a 100 charge Zarya with the offense matrix. Oh my goodness. Oh, we see Walmart falling off the map here. Taking a little bit of a swim there. Sorry, this is not a resort. This is a game of Overwatch. Dragon Slayer are going to find some kills as well. And we're still seeing them going for an engagement here. They're actually going to find a kill onto Dragon Slayer, but I don't know. I feel like after losing Walmart there, they should have just regrouped. And now it looks like a quick 2-0 is going to come in for the Slayers on Oasis.
Yeah, I mean, and that 2-0 really kind of shined through there. And we see Nyla picking up like the Bastille throughout that game, but I don't think he's practiced it at all.
Yeah, Batiste, I mean, yes, a lot of his abilities are very strong, but he does take some practice. He's not as straightforward as some other Overwatch characters. And especially something that is hard to get used to is his healing nades actually have a very small radius. It can be very difficult to get the healing out, or at least more difficult than it seems. So it's definitely something you don't want to just go into without practicing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it definitely takes a bit of practice. Of course, the Immortal, the lamp, has exactly the same trajectory as the right click. So if you want to practice throwing that over and over again, you can just use the right click.
Wait, they have the same projectile?
They have exactly the same throwing arc.
That's
and projectile speed thing. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, so that's another thing that I think is just really, really strong about his immortality field. Is you can be like across the map. Like imagine, you're in your, typical competitive match, typical solo queue match. All of your teammates are off doing God knows what. You hear Reiner shatter. You see 2 of your teammates have been shattered. You can toss that in there from 3-point distance and just save your team. It's like such a strong ability, but you really do have to manage your cooldowns well if you're playing on this Batiste.
Yeah, it was one of those things I was joking about with a friend, and I was like, well, we used to have Call of Duty Tomahawk videos, but now we're going to get Batiste Lamp videos. Just across the map. I'm sure somebody on the internet is going to post guides like they did for Diva Bomb spots, like they did for weird Widow hooks where she could like slide and get to places she wasn't meant to. There's going to be things for that because the lamp bounces until it's on an actual piece of terrain.
Oh, really?
So if it's on a sliding terrain, it will slide.
Nice. Okay.
So for something like Eichenwald, if you throw it at the right arc and it hits one of the roof of the buildings, you can kind of force it to slide onto the bridge.
And I do believe, well, I guess I have to check now, but doesn't the cooldown engage as soon as you throw it?
I am not sure on that one.
So theoretically, if the cooldown engages as soon as it's thrown, and you throw it onto the roof or one of these slidey surfaces, you could have 2 immortality fields in play at once.
Ready for
Yeah, I ain't sure on that one, Chief. Wait, that sounds broken. Blizzard?
That sounds really broken, but it also sounds exactly like something Blizzard would overlook.
Overlook. Yeah, I'm unsure on that one.
kill.
I hope
honestly,
not.
I really
hope
wanna,
not.
I really want to test this out now.
Well, Cool J and I will go into a custom game after this cast, figure that out, and post it on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I'll post it to my like 10 followers.
I have like 100. We can do it.
No.
We'll get it
I'm
out.
talking about my Twitter. You have followers, I don't.
Okay.
It's okay though.
It's okay. I'll retweet it, and then you'll get follows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big
200 IQ. But getting into this game, we do see Stefix on the Bastion there. No Bastiste anymore for the Huskies. They went, you know what? This isn't for us just yet.
Yeah, they are going to be running a Mei and a Roadhog. I actually like the Roadhog pick. What they're thinking here is when that immortality field comes down, they can hook the enemy team out of it. But look at this. Entity getting 2 kills with 1 pipe there on the Junkrat. And so far, the hook's not coming out as Sunflower is going to go down there. Mr. Popo is going to get taken down, but, you know, back and forth, these kills keep going.
Yeah, back and forth they do keep going here as we see Sinbin falling to Entity. Dragon Slayer still standing. Also, we need a Dragon Slayer Reinhardt skin.
Honestly, like, after seeing this username and the way he's playing today, I really want it. Like,
Yeah, like...
please, Blizzard. Dragon
like a
Slayer
dragon
Reinhardt.
skin, like, yeah, like a Monster Hunter-y looking. Yeah, we need that, Blizzard. Come on now. But we do see Nyla Kyla here on that Mei trying to get a couple icicle snipes from people that just peek a little bit too far around Dragon Slayer's shield there. I almost said skin.
What if they did a partnership? Like, what if they got a Joker Mei skin? Or no, Joker Junkrat.
This,
Yo,
you know
that
what?
actually-
I don't want to talk about this anymore. We've gone too far.
Well,
But here we see
good
Nalakaya
for
finding
you.
Mr. Popo. The Maywall coming up as well, separating some of the damage coming out here as they try and find Entity. If nobody's careful there, they are going to step onto the Junkrat trap.
yeah, and so as you mentioned, it looked like Sunflower getting caught in the Junkrat trap right there, but it doesn't even matter. The kills keep coming through. Nyla Kyle on this Mei finds a kill, but Sinbin caught all by himself. He's gonna go down there, and now it's gonna be very difficult as Sonat gets taken down by a nice little dink from Artemis, who is going off. Finds yet another headshot there, and he's not done.
Yeah, I mean, managing to get that headshot, very, very good coming in there. Stefix, of course, having that tank configuration. We do... I mean, the Slayers are putting up a really good defense at the moment. They're really making the Huskies work for anything.
You know, I just realized something. There's no, like... I don't think there's any, like, wolf or dog Overwatch character. I think we need that next.
Is that what this cast is? Just get off topic as we see the Slayers absolutely popping off at the moment. Artemis having that infra sight, you know,
It's called, it's called
wolf and dog
banter.
characters. Like, now I'm like, wait, but we have like an Anna Owl skin. We see Artemis getting another pick there. We have an Anna Owl skin, right? Why? And we have a Hanzo Wolf skin. Wait a minute, what are you on about? Easy.
Oh, we do have a Hanzo Wolf skin. That's true. Okay, so yeah, I'll just play Lone Wolf Hanzo.
There you
But
go.
you know, it's called banter. It's not off topic. It's adding to the atmosphere as we see 2 Rhines charging into each other. This is just another part of that traditional dance we were talking about earlier. We're going to see the side of Dragon Slayer backing off and Sinbin going to go down, and you know, understanding these dances is very important. And it seems like Dragon Slayer has really studied them.
Understanding the depths and details of the Reinhardt meeting dance is very, very important because you never know who's going to come out on top. And so far, Dragon Slayer has been clearly understanding the nuances.
Yeah, I definitely think Dragon Slayer is going to end up with a more favorable mate at the end of this. But meanwhile, Sonat taking down Mr. Popo on the high ground. He's going to use his Transcendence, hoping to keep his team up. to contest this point. Maybe they can take advantage of this 6v5, but look at this, the invulnerability field is still up.
Yeah, the hammer down coming out, managing to hit Dr. Bones there, but we do see Entity just jumping over it with that concussion mine, getting into overtime now, but Huskies have the point. It's a complete flip from what we've been seeing. If we can see Dr. Bones here keep something going with the Coalescence, we hear the Riptire coming out from Entity. The Maywall isn't going to stop a Riptire because we see Justice as well, managing to clear it up. All they need to do now is deal with that May. All Mr. Popo needs to do is not go too low, and he succeeds in pushing May off, and that's going to be round 1 with a decisive hold coming out from the Slayers.
Yes, but in the end of it, they did end up giving up a tick, which means that we are playing for a win. No draws this time on 2CP. 36.7% is what is needed in order for the Slayers to secure a victory, both on the map and in the series. Although either way, we are Overwatch League style. In case you haven't heard, we will still be playing the 4th map regardless of the outcome here.
Yeah, the 4th map, of course. Where are we going on map 4?
That is a great question. Well, after we took a shuttle ride to the moon, what did we do next?
We're going to Disneyland.
Right. Disneyland, yes. We'll be seeing some of Blizzard's best, and maybe a few moments they'd like to forget on Blizzard World.
You know, it's honestly, we had this conversation last chat, but I am curious. If they made a Blizzard World, would you go to it?
No.
You would not?
If they had something for Overwatch, I might go. But honestly, I was never really a big fan of any of their other stuff, so I'm not sure if I would go if it was.
I think you're in the minority in that one.
If it was similar to the in-game Blizzard World, I don't think that I would go.
Huh. Yeah, I definitely think you're in the minority in that one, at least on the topic of Blizzard games. Yeah, played Blizzard games for a long, long time.
I mean, I'm okay with that. They just, you know, Overwatch was really the only thing that was my style, but I do really love this game. As we see the Huskies Sinbin taking a very aggressive positioning here, but his team not really here to back him up. Sonat on the Lucio is going to try and keep him alive there, but with the barrier going down, I expect him to fall very soon. He is going to be able to get around the corner.
So now with Baptiste being in the meta and being live and things, right? This strategy we see coming out from the Huskies is so easy to counter, or at least pressure, because you can just put the lamp around a corner where the Bastion can't see it and have your whole team just stand around, like, so they can shoot at the Bastion, but the Bastion can't see the lamp, and just rush down the shields.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, we'll see if they'll be able to execute that. Mr. Popo is going to get an early kill on a Sunflower, but he's going to get frag backed. Steph with the revenge kill. They really are dedicated to running Steph on this Bastion. So far, it is working out for them. This Nest comp with Nyler Kyle on the Orisa. We actually see Sinbin starting to make his way back now on this Reinhardt. Artemis putting in damage from behind for the Slayers as they look for their engagement.
Yeah, trying to find this engagement here. All they need is a tick and a tiny bit on the Huskies at the moment, and they're holding that high ground with the lamp. Again, the lamp just being placed straight in the middle so they can see it, though. And like you were saying about people needing to learn how to optimize Baptiste, I feel like a big thing is hiding the lamp.
Definitely trying to locate a positioning where the enemy team can't really deal with it without going too far out of the way. But, you know, it's a delicate balance because there's not always a good place to...
Yeah, I mean, managing to try and get this here. We do see the Justice raining from above here, finding two. A huge hammer down coming down with the lamp also drop. I think they need to find Sonat. They managed to find that as well. It's down to Sinbin and Sunflower to try and save this point. But so far, it's not looking too good for them as Sunflower, I think, just decides, I don't know if we can win this. Let's go to map 4.
Yep, Slayer's going to take the victory. They're gonna go back home with the flag. Is there a flag for Horizon? I feel like there's a flag for every.
Probably.
What country should the moon be a part of? Should it be its own country?
I it, isn't there some like law of space being like free, like
I
international
mean,
waters?
but come on, that's not gonna last.
I
Someone
mean,
is
I don't know.
at
Do we
some
call them
point.
countries when people control worlds?
Well, what country is Blizzard World supposed to be like in Los Angeles?
I think it's just meant to be a theme park somewhere in the world. I don't think it's ever specified.
Well, in any case, now that we're finished up here on the moon, we're going to go to our next brutal 6v6 mini war on Blizzard World, as we've mentioned. And the Slayers are really just taking it to them today. The Huskies having so much trouble getting anything going at all.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for them, they haven't been able to quite get the ground that they want, but hopefully they should be able to get it fairly soon on Blizzard World. I'd like to see them at least take one map.
I just realized that Sonat's name is Thanos backwards.
I am disappointed in
The absolute
everybody.
mad lad. I like this guy.
Welcome to Blizzard World.
There are a lot of memes going on about Thanos right now, and I gotta be honest with you, I haven't seen a single Avengers movie since the first one because I just feel like they're milking it so hard. Like I just don't trust it at all.
I'm going to be honest, I've watched every single one of them. I've read most of the comic books, and I adore the movies.
I mean, hey, maybe I'm totally wrong here. I don't know, but
I
I did
think-
like the first one. I just,
Yeah.
I felt like they were milking it when I saw the trailers for the second one, and I just kind of, in my brain,
Age of
I was just
Ultron. Age of Ultron wasn't great. I'm going to
Yeah.
be honest.
okay, but I should
that's
come
probably
back for Infinity.
yeah,
War,
yeah,
is what
yeah.
you're saying.
Infinity War, yes.
Ready
Okay.
for battle.
All right, so maybe I'll actually have to take a look and see what happens when Thanos snaps his fingers.
Pretty good.
In the meantime, back to the Overwatch action. We're seeing them coming out once again with this composition, the Bastion for Steph. However, this time they're going to be trying the Batiste once again. Walmart going to be running it. Sunflower on the Soldier as well. Maybe they feel a little bit more confident about this one. Maybe they feel that they can kind of counter what we've been seeing come out from the Slayers, because guess what? The Slayers are running the exact same thing once again. This Widow Pharah Soldier, Ryan, Brig, Batiste has been their bread and butter so far today, and the Huskies really don't know how to deal with it.
Enemy in my sights.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for the Huskies at the moment, I feel like they do need to come back next season, as this is, of course, the final week. Oh, this is the final day, in fact. This is the last game that will be played of Season 3 until the playoffs.
Well, I can't wait for the playoffs action, honestly. Seeing some fantastic high school level Overwatch coming out soon. Dr. Bones in the back line finding a kill onto backwards Thanos. But it looks like for the moment, at least, the Huskies are going to be stable.
Yeah, I mean, they are managing to stabilize fairly well here. Sinbin does fall, as well as Nyla Kyle. Just as we say that, the Caster's Curse really kicks in.
Yeah, it was really bad timing there, as it looks like the Slayers won't have a chance to be stopped. Sunflower falling there to Artemis. I saw Steph on the Bastion, but he seems to have disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, getting onto that Bastion for Stefix there is really, really... I mean, yeah, he's not been able to really find much, and I feel like he does need to change over to something else. But I believe it's Stefix and Torbjorn is pretty much all we've seen him play throughout the weeks.
Yeah, I actually don't think I've had a chance to cast this team yet, but it does seem like Bastion and Torb is the only things he's comfortable with playing, and we're seeing it's really just not working out for them. Need a little bit more flexibility on the side of the Huskies.
Yeah, we definitely do need to some sort of attempt in some flexibility for that, because if you're gonna be very, very non-flexible, I'm trying to think of the word that isn't flexible. Dense, I guess. Straight. Not many. I can't think of a dense. Rigid is the word that I'm looking for. Then yeah, you need to be able to play it very, very, very well. And at the moment, I don't think it's working out for SuValley.
English is hard, isn't it?
Sometimes you know how many words I know? A lot of words.
That's
Sometimes
a lot
you
of
forget about
words.
some words.
Everybody talks about my words. I know all
A
of the
plethora of words, if you will.
words. Ooh, pulling out the spicy vocab words here
Yeah.
today. The tracer switch, and right as I say that, Sinbin actually going to swap over to the Junkrat. They are running triple hit scan here. Backwards Thanos is on the McCree, just trying to do whatever they can to deal with Mr. Popo, but it's still not working, as backwards Thanos is going to go down.
Yeah, we do see Sun out there falling pretty quickly as the Huskies once again are just forced back in. SuValley managing to find 2 picks though, but Artemis very quickly taking out the sad little Bastion.
Yeah, he
beeping
finds
away.
Yeah, beeping away. Really, you hate to hear it, but we'll see if
It's
those
so
two.
sad.
Let's see if those two are going to be enough for the Huskies to be able to take this payload back. So far, it's really just been rushing along there.
Sinbin managing to sneak up behind them there, throw out a concussion mine, and just completely startle the Slayers in that situation. We see the lamp coming down. Again, nobody's shooting at it. They're just shooting at people in the lamp. Shoot the lamp!
Yeah, I saw Nyler Kyle trying to take it down, but honestly, he was just too slow. It actually went down on its own before he was able to finish it off. And we're seeing here just over 4 minutes, and they are inching closer to the end. Here comes the visor, as well as the offense matrix. Dr. Bones finding kills from behind. Ults all over the place. Backwards Thanos not able to find the value he's looking for with that Deadeye, and I think that should be it for this attack run.
Yeah, it's looking very close to it, as they are going to be able to find the last couple picks on SuValley and Walmart and take that point.
Score 0-3. Switching.
Honestly, there's just too much damage coming out from this Slayer's composition. They don't have a ton of sustain, but it doesn't really matter because they're really just able to out damage everything before they.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's exactly it. When you've got an immortality field that nobody's shooting at, you can just dish out so much damage without concern.
And so we're seeing here, I mean, part of it is an adjustment in the playstyle, as you mentioned, trying to deal with that lamp, but part of it is just this composition seems so well practiced from the side of the Slayer.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I'm looking at this roller coaster. Maybe I would go to Blizzard World. This roller coaster looks pretty cool.
yeah, you thinking at it?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Not, I mean,
Yeah.
I would say Cool J gives it a 7 out of 10. Maybe.
I mean, that's considering you said you didn't want to go earlier. I feel like a 7 out of 10 is a fairly high score.
I don't know. I do like the aesthetic of Blizzard World.
I think
it
it's a
looks
gorgeous
really
map. I think it's the best looking map in the game.
I mean, I guess that's fair, actually. I would say that Oasis is actually one of my personal favorites, but I do really like the look of Blizzard.
I feel like Blizzard World is really Blizzard leaning into the cartooniness of Overwatch, and I feel like it really does shine.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I had a chance to watch some collegiate Overwatch action with the old man, and he said he actually really likes the art style of Overwatch. He had the opportunity to watch this, watch Fortnite or League, and he picked this one, which was really surprising. So that felt.
I mean, thank God he didn't pick Fortnite.
I know, right? But we are distracting our good viewers from the game. The Slayers just had a fantastic first fight. The Huskies actually contesting on the point here. Sinbin gonna go down on this Reaper, and of course the Slayers having absolutely none of that.
Yeah, the Slayers again are just going to shut them down. I wouldn't be surprised here if we still see a full hold coming out from them.
Yeah, and honestly, it looks like the fatigue is starting to get to the members of the Huskies here. The composition they've come out here is incredibly unorthodox, running 4 DPS with a Brigitte on the solo heal. And I feel like they really just are struggling at this point.
No one can hide.
Yeah, I mean, struggling is definitely the word that I would use, and it's very unfortunate to see this from the Huskies. We've seen it work out, their strategies here, and actually, Stefux has made us eat our words. He's on Genji.
Yeah, he's proving he can play a little bit more than Torbjorn and Bastion. That rigidity is gone. Now is the days of fluid Stefx, our Lord and Savior. We will see if he can be the savior for the Slayers, or for the Huskies rather. But Artemis finding a kill onto Walmart. Backwards Thanos going down as well. The offensive Matrix not really going to get much value there, but doesn't even seem to matter.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, it doesn't seem to matter at all, as they just aren't able to get an inch.
Yeah, we see Stefx looking for an opening here. Brig is on the point. No, Sombra, Nyler Kyle on the Sombra is on the point. They no longer have a Brig, which means they are fully 6 DPS now. And the Huskies really just trying to make this work. I'm not sure if this is what they...
Yeah, Entity there, finding the pick onto Sonat here. They're actually still not being able to find it, even with the hack coming out from Mr. Pope, or onto Mr. Popo there, from Nyla Kyla, or Nyla Kyle. It just isn't enough. They're trying everything to get onto this point. With a minute left on the clock, it isn't looking good for them.
You mean backwards Thanos, right?
No, Nyla Kyla hacked Mr. Popo.
No. You said that Sonat took somebody took down Sonat, but
yeah,
his name is backwards Thanos.
I'm not doing this, Cool J. It says Sonat. I'm reading Sonat. I don't care about the memes.
Well, you know I'm all about the memes. However, the Slayers are all about the dubs, as Skelly Key has really proved to be a very strong Batiste. You know, something that I mentioned previously is that it is very difficult to get some of these heals out with the Batiste. The radius on his nades is incredibly small, something that a lot of people don't realize. But we really haven't seen any problems from the support line of the Slayers so far today.
You know, it has been unfortunate for the Huskies. In the support lineup for the Slayers, I mean, Skelly's been putting in work, so is Dr. Bones.
Yeah, Dr. Bones, we saw him swapping between the Moira and the Brigitte today, depending on, you know, what side they were playing on. But that is going to be it. Slayers taking a completely suffocating 4-0 victory over the Huskies, and it's really just a rough day for them.
Yeah, I mean, here we're going to see the player of the game coming out from Dr. Bones. I do believe, is this where we got the shield from Skelly Keys along with the visor? No, it was just a good visor.
Yeah, lots of targets. I mean, he's letting you know he's got you in his sights. We see actually 56% kill participation from Dr. Bones. I do think that Soldier, after his buff, is going to come back. I think that he's going to be very strong, but obviously it remains to be seen how the meta will change, since we haven't really gotten to see the best yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely it. There's a lot that can be changed. There was a lot of buffs and nerfs coming out over the last couple patches, and I still feel like the meta is in a very, very, very volatile place, and we'll see exactly where it ends up. But of course, with that, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to the AK region of EGFH Season 3, with, of course, the SuValley Slayers taking the victory. You can follow us at Official EGF on Twitter and Twitch for updates and announcements. And once again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Mob Crush, Playmakers Wanted, and although you're not sponsors, everybody for tuning in here, for being absolutely wonderful and staying with us throughout the season and helping make this season possible. My name is being Kevin Navik Dignan, and you can find me on Twitter at NavikCasts.
And I am Cool J. You can find me on Twitter at CoolJ_OW. I would also like to thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you in the playoffs.